now we're going to look at writing transformations of radical functions. So just to review where the transformations are going to show up, if you have a transformation that is vertical, you're going to see it happen here or here. Anything that's vertical is going to happen in one of those two spots. Anything that is horizontal is going to happen either in front of the x under the radical or after the x under the radical. And so that's where anything horizontal will show up. If you remember those two things, that's really going to help you out. Remember that vertical also is going to be a x-axis reflection, and that's for reflections only. And horizontal is the same as saying a reflection over the y-axis. So just a quick little reminder to kind of help you remember where the pieces are supposed to go. Okay, so here is an example of writing. We want to let G be a horizontal shrink by a factor of 1/6, followed by a translation 3 units to the left of the graph of f of x is equal to the cube root of x. So that's what we're starting with. The cube root of x is our starting point. Okay, so remember that the order of your transformations really matters. So a horizontal shrink by 1/6 means that we're going to plug in positive 6 for the value in front of x. Since it's horizontal, it's going to happen under the radical. And remember that horizontal is always going to be the reciprocal, so it's going to become this. Then we want a translation 3 units to the left. And again, left would also be horizontal, so that's going to also happen underneath our radical. Left would be plus 3 underneath. And so our final g of x would be the cube root of 6x plus 3. Be careful again, left feels like it should be negative, but remember that h value is always the opposite. So since we're moving left, we actually want to add 3. And so that's our final answer. Let's look at another one. Let the graph of G be a horizontal stretch by a factor of 3, followed by a translation 6 units to the right of the graph of f of x is equal to the cubed root of x. I recommend that you put this on pause and try to do this yourself and see if you can come up with the right answer, and then you can come back here and check it out. So a horizontal stretch is going to again happen underneath the radical. So since it is 3, we want the reciprocal of that, which would be 1/3 x. 6 units to the right would be minus 6, and it would also be under the radical since it is horizontal. Okay, all of those translations were done to the parent function, and so we'll see something a little bit different here when we switch this up. So let's write a rule for G. If G is a horizontal shrink by a factor of 5/6, followed by a translation 10 units to the left of the graph of the cube root of 15x plus 1. So you see that we have more things happening here than just the parent function. So we have to first follow the instructions that we were given. So horizontal is always going to be substituted for the x. So when I perform the horizontal shrink by 5/6, I am going to want to do f of 6 over 5x. That's what we're going to plug in. That's what the rule tells us. 6 over 5, remember, is the reciprocal of 5 over 6. So this becomes the cube root of 15 times 6 over 5x plus 1. 15 times 6 is 90, and then 90 divided by 5 is going to be, what, 18? So we have the cubed root of 18x plus 1. We haven't changed that bit yet. And then, since we want to go to the left, we have to do f of x plus 10, which again means that we are going to plug in x plus 10 where x is currently. So we have 18 times x plus 10, and then we have plus 1. So this is going to become the cube root of 18x plus 180 plus 1, which makes our final g of x equal to the cubed root of 18x plus 181.